president of the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association. Our organization fights for civil, constitutional, and amendment rights, and we are here today to have a peaceful memorial vigil in the life that was lost in the Central Jail of John Thomas Horton III. John Thomas Horton III lost his life in the Central Jail in 2009, and we are very concerned about it, and we're here today because we know that there was some wrongdoing in the Central Jail that had to do with the life of Mr. John Thomas Horton III, which they say they found honey in his cell. We are here today because other young men have lost their lives in the Central Jail. They have been beat, they have been put into the hole, they've been mistreated, and we want to make sure that the Sheriff's Department is held accountable for every action that has to do with a human life. Because every human being inside the Central Jail has a human right, a civil right, a constitutional right, and their amendment right to be treated fairly, even in incarceration. No one should lose their life inside the Central Jail. We will continue to reach out to the FBI, the President of the United States of America, and every other entity of county and government to make sure that this situation does not go to sleep, and we'll keep it alive and well until we get the justice that we deserve in memory of not only John Thomas Horton III, but every inmate that has been beat and lost their life inside the jailhouse. ACLU has a pending lawsuit against them. There is also a subject called Scannergate you can go online to read about, which has to do with the sheriffs inside there not properly watching the inmates, falsifying documentation. And then there's a gang in the Sheriff's Department called the 3000 Gang, which was just on the news a few months ago about the mishaps and the mistreatment of how they were treating the inmates inside the jail. So we do have a 3000 Gang, which is done by the Sheriff's Department. It is a major concern because there should be a gang inside the Sheriff's Department that are sheriffs. We have enough gangs on the streets already. We're concerned about Scannergate, we're concerned about John Thomas Horton III, and we're concerned about everything that's going on with people losing their lives and being mistreated in the Central Jail. At this time, we will have Attorney Helen Jones. Not just there are so many things that have come out in the last year and a half that the investigation has been Los Angeles County as against the impunity such as bailiffs going on child runs instead of making sure that individuals are watched on the case, such as bailiffs using 4 copies of barcodes instead of watching people and making sure that the people in the jail are safe, such as individuals reportedly hanging themselves while their liver is busted. That's injustice. It's like they walk into these buildings and it becomes the world of the Wild West. John Horton did not murder anybody and he did not commit any capital crime. So him sitting dead now is offensive. They had an obligation to protect him. The trial right now is scheduled for September. You're taking depositions, taking these officers, taking Los Angeles Sheriff's Department answer for what they did. And we won't stop until they answer. Now, there's a lot of other things that are happening, and I'll let my coach bring it. Oh, at this time, we will together on this day. Thank you.
It's appalling to know Dennis Wilson lost to Dennis Wilson. It's appalling to know that John Horton was found with his hands tied behind his back, ligatures on his legs, with a hangman's noose around his neck in his cell in the early morning hours, and they say he hung himself. Well, I don't even think Houdini could have done that. It's amazing that the investigation, the homicide investigation, is still open 2 years later. That's what their attorney told the judge last week. If he hung himself, we do not know why the homicide investigation is still open. It's amazing that we are sending aid to Libya and places like this when the injustice is there. When they're not taking care of the injustices in the Los Angeles County Jail, by the trees, not that they throw their fingers up or down, but it's appalling that you have gang members that are sheriffs who are in their own gang. The Swedes, the Grim Rippers, the Vikings. This has to stop. It needs to stop now.
At this time, we will hear from Mrs. Jones, the mother of John Thomas Horton III. Mrs. Jones.
My son this morning, 2009, and the man took his bill, and all he did was put in there and go through his time like every other inmate. Took his father to and come back home. To me, that's what I thought he was going to do. But now they murdered my son in that jail. They bust his liver, not anything else. They bust his kidney. They bust his pancreas. They bust his stomach open. He internally bled from his liver. He internally bled from his kidney. He internally bled from his stomach. He internally bled from a muscle in his back. He has a wound in front of him on his nose, and he's going to tell me after that he comes to himself. And that's what they try to say, that he was that's what was in the box. You need a box in the liver. And because he would go down, 20 shots, 20 seconds. He go down for these 20 seconds before the liver was curled, but a bunch of liver. After that, you're going to tell me my baby hung himself. And then you put him in a hole. You claim you put him in a hole on the 18th. And 2 days later, he turned 22 years old. And 12 days after that, he stopped murder. And you try to tell me that he took his own life. No, he didn't take his own life. Because I don't see plenty of people in the Mississippi jail. And plenty of people want to speak out, but they scared. But now people are speaking up. Because if people standing up to the sheriff department now and showing what's really going on in here. And y'all know y'all killed my son. Because you ask any doctor, after a liver busted, a kidney busted, his pancreas busted, his stomach busted, his back, muscle in his back is busted, and his hand tied behind his back, and he's hitting the head, and his cartilage on his nose broke, and you're going to tell me that he took his own life? Okay, I know he did. Yes.
Is this John?
Yeah, this is John right here.
This is a picture of John Thomas Horton III in the middle. He's a very young man that had a life in front of him. He had an opportunity to live, and his constitutional rights were taken away when his life was taken away. His rights were taken away.
And they also hid him from me for 30 days. They only let me visit him one time. That's how I knew something was going wrong. Every time I tried to come in and put a visiting pass in, they told me that I couldn't visit him, that he was in a special part of the jail, and he couldn't get visits or phone calls where he was at.
Did they send this effect on you?
Yeah, they sent me the noose that hung him. The noose that they made up and that they put together, they sent that to the mortuary with his body.
And we showed that noose at the County Board of Supervisors meeting in front of Mark Willie Thomas and Gloria Molina, and everyone in there was shocked because the ring around his neck was a small ring, and the noose they gave us was a big noose about this thick. So they made a grand mistake, and that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that young man did not
I repeat, did not hang himself.
We are here today, Eddie Jones, president of the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association. We are here for justice. We will use our amendment rights, our constitutional rights, and our amendment rights to make sure that there is some justice in this fight and the wrongful death of Mr. John Thomas Horton. It's not acceptable, and we are fighting not just for John, but for every young man in that jail right now that's being mistreated. Again, the ACLU has a pending lawsuit. There's also, if you go to Google, you can find out about Scannergate, which has to do with them scanning, not properly scanning and checking on the individuals in the jail. This is a big thing for us. But we're going to remember John Thomas Horton III. Are you guys ready? Justice for John Thomas Horton III. 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 Are there any questions? At this time, this is our press conference. Thank you so very much, and may everyone have a blessed day. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.